Thanks for tuning in to the Vintage Cinema Review. On this week's episode, we're covering from 1994, Pulp Fiction.
One of my absolute all-time favorites, Quentin Tarantino's masterpiece.
Yeah, I can't agree more. One of his original Tarantino-type films, characters, just a fun movie.
Yeah, this is definitely one of my favorites. Really enjoyed it. Speaking of which, we hope you're enjoying our show. Don't forget to leave that 5-star rating, whether it be Spotify, Apple, Google, wherever you're at. And sit back, relax, and enjoy from 1994, Pulp Fiction. Hey, this is Dave.
Matt.
And Zap.
And welcome to the Vintage Cinema Review,
where every week we review some of our favorite films from the past.
Hey, there ain't no late fees here.
Silence is golden. And be kind. Rewind.
Hey guys, what's up?
What's going on?
Nothing. What do you got in the V.C.R. today? What's going in there?
One of my personal favorites, in my opinion, Quentin Tarantino's masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is the best. Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, Pulp Fiction, definitely one of my favorites for sure. This one came out in 1994, so
it's a good year.
Yeah, definitely a good year.
Yeah.
Does Tarantino, does he have anything bad? Does he do bad?
I've heard, I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is not so good. Have you guys seen
I
that?
have not seen it.
I like that, actually. That was with Brad Pitt and
DiCaprio. I started it, but I didn't get to finish it. I watched like 20 minutes and I was going to save it, and then
there was some weird stuff in it, but I mean, it's Tarantino weirdness.
Yeah. It's a really long movie, so
yeah, 3 hours, I think.
Yeah, so that's why I had started it, and then I was like, I'll watch this another time. But what I saw, I liked it. It was like a half hour, 20 minutes.
I thought it was good.
This guy made a huge name for himself because of this movie. Like, there's no doubt. Like, so for sure he had done Reservoir Dogs first. I get that,
right.
But it was this that brought people out. That absolutely put him on the map.
Right.
Tarantino, he's a director. Kind of reminds me of like a Scorsese type, where he sticks to his guns. He likes his cast that he puts out.
Sure.
He likes using the same people, but he can work them as different characters, which I think is cool.
Just works with the same people. Yeah. So yeah, Pulp Fiction, rated R, and the runtime on this was 2 hours 34 minutes. Which I thought went by fast. It's so good.
Yeah.
I don't even notice.
Yeah, this was a very quick 2.5 hours.
It was, yeah.
Is that wow?
Yeah, 2:34.
That's like an hour and 40.
No. So this was, as we said, directed by Quentin Tarantino, written by Quentin Tarantino, and then story by Quentin Tarantino and Roger Avery, which I'm sure we'll get into that stuff. Produced by Lawrence Bender. And then the release dates on this, May 21st, 1994 at Cannes.
The Cannes Film Festival in France.
Yeah. And then October 14th, 1994 in the United States. And that's when I saw it.
Yep.
That like opening weekend. Budget on this, between 8 and 8.5 million roughly. And the box office, and this is on an independent film now, 213.9 million.
God damn.
Yeah, so it did well.
Yeah, we would say in the industry, we would say the juice is worth the squeeze.
That's a lot of money.
That's an insane amount of money for an independent film like that.
Yeah, they kind of, set the bar high for an independent film then, and there's a lot of films that came out after this that were trying to be like Pulp Fiction, but there can only be one. And I don't think you'll ever see that kind of success.
No.
I mean, I'm sure at some point you will, but it comes along once in a great while.
I'm glad it did.
Yeah,
this was a life-changing movie to watch. It really was. All the critics will say it and this, that, and the other thing, but it changed the landscape. Like it like you had said, it set the bar
right,
like so high.
And it was cool for, I think, kids our age, because that was something that was coming out as we were growing up, as we were getting ready to go out there in the world on our own, and it was 18. Yeah, 18, and we just seen it at that time in our lives where it's like, wow, the world is a great place to live in.
Yeah, I like I said, it would have been that first fall, October. It was like right out of high school, and I remember going to see it with a group of friends, and I was blown away. Now, I was aware of, at that time, Reservoir Dogs because of a friend, but I didn't know what really to expect with this one. But the filming locations on this were like L.A. pretty much.
Nice.
It was like in and
That's it.
around L.A.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really think they filmed pretty much anywhere else other than in and around L.A. So that's pretty much it for the budget, release date, all that good stuff. So I guess I'll turn it over to Zap for the cast.
Sure. So for the cast, we have John Travolta as Vincent Vega, Samuel L. Jackson as Jules Winfield, Uma Thurman as Mia Wallace, Harvey Keitel as Winston Wolfe, Tim Roth as Ringo, a.k.a. Pumpkin, Amanda Plummer as Yolanda, a.k.a. Honey Bunny, Maria de Medeiros as Fabian, Ving Rhames as Marcellus Wallace, Eric Stoltz as Lance, Rosanna Arquette as Jody, Christopher Walken as Captain Coons, Bruce Willis as Butch Coolidge, and Paul Calderon as Paul the bartender. Those are the people of import I have on my list of cast.
Nice.
Cool. So that's the cast, and I'm sure we'll get into all those individuals. So Matt, you got a brief synopsis?
Yeah, this is the synopsis is kind of just like I guess an outline of the movie, because it's kind of hard, like we said earlier, to talk about how the story behind this and how many characters, how many storylines.
Mm-hmm.
But this is how they have the brief synopsis of the movie Pulp Fiction. Critics and audiences worldwide hailed Pulp Fiction as the star-studded motion picture that redefined cinema in the 20th century. Writer-director Quentin Tarantino, Academy Award winner, Best Original Screenplay, 1994, delivers an unforgettable cast of characters, including a pair of low-rent hitmen, John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson, their boss's sexy wife, Uma Thurman, and a desperate prizefighter, Bruce Willis, in a wildly entertaining and exhilarating motion picture adventure that both thrills and amuses. Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah,
Nice.
there it is.
Cool. That was good.
There you have it.
Yeah, there's actually a thing online where I guess where people were doing it on YouTube, but they keep shutting it down, obviously because of copyright. They were taking Pulp Fiction and putting it in chronological order.
Yep.
So that you could watch it like as it.
Because for those of you out there who haven't seen this movie, and to start, shame on you for not seeing this movie.
Yeah, for sure.
For this is a must. Like, this is on the top 10. You've got to see this before you die. This is a great, incredible movie.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, the movie is out of chronological order. It's broken up into like 6 or 7 sections.
I don't even think we should mention that anymore, because honestly, like some of the movies that we talk about for our audience, like if you haven't seen most of these, I say like 90%, you probably aren't listening to the podcast.
That's fair.
Right.
Yeah. But
Well-
a lot of these too, if you do hear it, if you're a younger listener and something's like, oh, I heard about that, I don't, listen to us. Or if you don't want to listen to us, go ahead and watch the movie and then come back and listen to what we have to say about it. I think that'd be like a fun way to go.
There was another movie like this called Memento, which is like a great movie. I don't
was
know if
cool.
you ever saw
That was
that
cool.
with Guy Pearce. I
Yep.
think the guy's name
Young
was.
Guy Pearce. Like
So
Young Guy Pearce.
I have the DVD. I lent it out to somebody. I have a ton of DVDs that I never got back from people. That's one of them. But on that particular DVD, that movie's all over the place, much like Pulp Fiction.
That's because he has a memory
yeah,
disorder.
short. Like,
Yeah.
and there was a thing on there where you could answer trivia, and it would put the movie in order on the DVD for you.
Nice.
So like it would actually take the chapters and put them together. So
I actually
that
have
would've
your
been
Back
cool.
to the Future. I need to return.
oh, that's fine. Yeah. Oh, you have
You were
that? I
just
didn't
saying, yeah.
realize it.
Yeah, it's
Well,
gone.
yeah.
I have it.
But so anyway, yeah, this movie, definitely check it out, like Zap said. So I guess we're gonna go through the story here.
So I'll do my best.
Okay.
And by that, so I will certainly walk us through the story. But so much of this movie has everything, and I mean everything, to do with the dialogue.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
It is the dialogue in this movie is everything. Like what these actors are saying and the shit coming out of their mouths and how quick they are, and just so much of it comes back to the dialogue. Story is the story, but man, dialogue's where it's at.
Well,
So,
as I said, the one-liners and the quotes that you can sit there and
oh
quote,
my God, yeah,
quote this movie for days,
Mm-hmm.
and you know exactly what people are talking about.
absolutely. So, in a diner scene, we start with an exchange between a couple, Pumpkin, who's the woman, and Honey Bunny, the man, sitting at the diner discussing the pros and cons of armed robberies. Specifically, Honey Bunny is pushing the pros of holding up diners, where no one ever expects to be robbed. And with enough coffee and confidence in them, they hold up the diner. Now, it's amazing to see Pumpkin, the woman,
Mm-hmm.
immediately change her tone from being this, this sweet and loving woman and just admiring her boyfriend, stuff like that, into this hardcore bad guy.
Yeah,
All
she
right.
just
Hold up, girl.
brings it on.
Gets up and starts screaming. And
She
stuff.
does. She goes bananas. We then go to the opening credits of the movie.
Mm-hmm. With that kick-ass track.
Kick-ass track,
Yeah.
followed by Jungle Boogie.
Yep. Was that
That's one of Zapp's fave songs, I
like
believe.
Jungle Boogie?
Yeah,
Sure.
Was the
singing that for years.
the original?
Thanks to this movie.
Yeah, the first song that's what is that Miserloo? Is that what that's called? The song.
Yeah,
by-
the one that's just like the
It's like-
super fast guitar.
Yeah, Dick
Yeah.
Dale, I think it is.
I thought that was on Broadway, Les Miserables.
No. Dick Dale was actually at the Abbey Bar a few years ago, and I wanted to go. And I forget we had something going on. I
Was it
couldn't
an
make it down.
Appalachian or?
Appalachian
Yeah.
Brewery. Yeah, they have a upstairs part called and Dick Dale was there. I don't know if he's still alive. That was a while ago, and he was old back then. So
Yeah, I think the Abbey Bar had some problems. I don't even think they have that open anymore.
I'm not sure, but yeah, that's a good track.
Absolutely. Miserloo. That's where that was Napoleon's last battle.
At the Miserable.
Was it an ABBA song also?
No, that was
Miserloo.
actually it was Waterloo. But
Waterloo.
baby. Something like that. Yeah.
we should have a podcast just where Matt sings.
Oh, that would be
I think that'd be
great.
great.
I
That'd
think
be the
people
top-
would love
that. would
that.
be the top podcast
It would be
in all of the nation. Please mailbag that in. Watch people
Yeah,
say, yeah, that'd be
yeah.
dope.
an offshoot.
And then again, to be like, nah, man.
So after the opening credits, we meet Vincent Vega and Jules Winfield. So we're now introduced to these two who, while driving, are discussing Amsterdam and Vincent Vega's recent trip there and return from there. This is where we have the discussion about, what they call a quarter pounder with cheese over in Amsterdam.
Yeah, Grande.
Royale,
Royale with
with cheese.
cheese. That's what it is. Yeah,
Because they use the metric system.
that's right.
Another well quoted, quote-alicious on there.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Royale with cheese. Arriving at their destination, they casually obtain their pistols from the trunk and continue their conversation, which is now changed to the topic of Marcellus Wallace, his wife, who'd starred in a pilot of a television show, and Marcellus having thrown a man out of a window for having given his wife a foot massage. The topic of the foot massage becomes the focus. Jules believes that Marcellus went way too far for throwing the guy out of the window, while Vincent thinks Marcellus was in the right. All of this while walking to the door of an apartment.
Yeah,
Discussion on that.
Dialogue is everything.
yeah.
But they were like, who touches a woman's feet? I mean, there has to be something going on, right?
Right.
He was the one was equating it to like more like what was he saying?
Touching
It's
her holiest of holies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody touched
like more than sex almost like
Yeah.
like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, Vincent Vega was it's a sensual thing. Like it's it's beyond flirting. Like you're doing shit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you don't just walk into work like some girl sitting there. You had a long day. Let me see them tootsies.
yeah.
And just start rubbing away, man.
Yeah.
And I know like Travolta, he mentioned how like Zap's saying about so much dialogue. Like this was a lot harder than most movies to memorize all that because there's so much talking going on in this movie.
Yeah. And P.S. Tarantino is an absolute like Nazi when it comes to sticking with the script.
Oh, don't
Like,
go off.
you
yeah.
need to. This has been written for a reason.
No ad.
This is the way that this has to come out of your mouths.
And
Yeah.
Zap just said I was gonna make a point to that is you think a lot of these movies, these people are just like ad libbing or just
Yeah.
going with the flow. He is like, no, this is how I wrote this movie.
Yeah.
This is my mind. This is my genius.
Yeah.
I want you to perform it the way that I have it written. For you.
I'm glad he's that way
Yeah.
because look, it has to be this way. And again, I will say it a million times between now and the end of this. The dialogue in this movie is truly what drives it and just makes it so goddamn good.
And it doesn't sound written to me. It just sounds like they're just talking.
Right.
And that's the beauty.
But that's
of
the
it.
beauty of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how he is in real life. Like, I don't know anything about Quentin Tarantino except like the movies he made, but to work for him, to like how are you saying like he is like that? Like, no, let's do it again. No, let's do it again.
Like a Kubrick.
Yeah. Like
I don't know why he
yeah.
wouldn't be.
Yeah.
By this time, he can be.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. Because they said musically wise, like they said James Brown was a lot like that. Like he would kick people out. Like he just I told you to play this note
Mhm.
on the horn. He's like, I hear it. It's bothering me. Get out. Get
Yeah.
somebody else in here. But I wonder if Quentin Tarantino was like that. It just guy's good.
I don't know.
He is.
Well, arriving at the apartment, Vincent and Jules meet three of Marcellus's business partners. Now, these are three very young men who are scared shitless that these two guys have arrived. And you're talking about these two, Sizable dudes dressed in, they're dressed like undertakers. They got white suits, black ties, white shirts, black ties, black suits, and they're gun toting.
Right.
Like 2 of those dudes show up at my door, I'm going to be concerned.
These guys are like pretty much college kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
And so the intimidation begins. Jules talks the entire time and takes a bite of the leaders of the 3.
Kahuna.
Takes a bite of his big Kahuna burger and drinks his entire Sprite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now think about that, right? Like he's like, "Hey, you mind if I have a bite of your sandwich?" What are you gonna do? Say no? Because you're gonna get shot.
Yeah. Right.
Well, the guys know what they're there for.
Yeah,
And they're just
exactly.
like, shit has hit the fan right about now.
Yeah, and it starts to. So yeah, so he identifies leaders like, "Oh, check out the big brain on bread."
Yeah.
And now it's amazing to see like Jules's change in his dialogue. So he's really nice and talkative with Brett, and everything's great. And Marvin, the one black guy, who's just leaning up against the wall over in the corner, Jules immediately flips out. I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
He flipped out on him.
Yeah. So we learn that Vincent and Jules are there to obtain a briefcase. After subtly coercing the 3 as to the whereabouts of the briefcase, Vincent obtains it while Jules maintains control of the entire situation.
I don't think they were there to kill anybody, obviously. I think they were there to collect what they came for, and I think they were going to get out peacefully. Or no, you don't think?
I don't know.
I don't really think those guys pushed them too much.
Well, because
There's something that happens.
so this is okay. So there's 3 of these kids there, 3 of these dudes, and what happens next here is really. I'll agree that they had the intentions of killing. I think they had the intentions of killing everybody but one, so they could take one back to Marcellus and find out what went wrong
And have him kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, so as a means of exercising his already established dominance over the conversation, Jules shoots and kills one of the 3 young men who'd been laying on the couch, and just sitting there, just laying there doing nothing. This is the guy to whom he'd referred to as flock of seagulls.
Yes, because of the haircut.
The haircut. That's right. So the remaining 2 young men are obviously shaken. What had started as a mild conversation between Jules and the young men has now become hostile.
But if they would have grabbed the briefcase immediately, here it is, man, that would have never happened, don't you think? Or you think it was just...
It was the guy that was laying on the couch, like he was saying nonchalant. They were like, where? He's like...
It's in the cupboard.
It's in the cupboard. Like he didn't even get up. He was telling them where it was at. So they didn't really resist or anything like that.
No.
I guess you're right.
They were
they were just out there to murder some people.
They knew they were in deep shit.
Yeah.
And after that, this is now where Jules's tone has changed completely to that of just forceful control over the entire situation. This is where he's talking to Brett. What does Marcellus Boss look like? Right. And the kid's like, what? And he asks him the question again. And he flips the table over. Right.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Is Marcellus... Does he
Say
ever,
what? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. It's bananas. So you were going to say?
No, Marcellus is he look like a bitch?
That's right.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Say what?
Say what?
Say what?
Say what again? What?
Yeah.
Does he look like a bitch? No. Why'd you try to fuck him like a bitch?
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Which is another one-liner. The quotes.
That's right.
Pop out of nowhere.
They really do. And so after that, he goes into this. It's a mashed up biblical quote. Like you're not going to find this quote in what he references. So he references Ezekiel, chapter 25, verse 17. It's actually a mashup of basically like that whole chapter, bits and pieces that are pieced together.
Put together.
Yeah.
Like that.
Let's see. One of the most watched, I think they said, movie clips. Like that little footage of that where he gives this whole biblical speech and classic.
Yeah.
Was that part pulled from like a martial arts movie or something like that?
I don't
A little
know.
bit of dialogue.
Is that a fun fact you have on that? Is that
Well, I don't know if I have it in there. It might be. I might have saw that on like a documentary thing or something. I wasn't sure on that.
would they have spoken it like in Chinese?
No,
Or
it was in English, but it was like in like a martial arts movie.
It was like, so
There's something in
the
this.
man,
The path of the righteous man.
God, the man, bring down hand.
There was
He
some-
set upon him on all
there's-
sides.
There's dialogue in this movie that is definitely pulled from a martial arts movie, almost word for word.
Cool mailbag.
And I don't know if that's the one or another saying.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's the kind of movies that Quentin Tarantino grew up
Oh, he
watching.
loves them. Yeah.
Yes, kung fu. Was that Kung Fu Theater?
Kung Fu Theater
on
and all
Saturday mornings.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
That was awesome. Well, so after Jules' mashed up Bible quote that he says to Brett, he and Vincent unload round after round into Brett, killing him instantly.
Yeah.
That's the end of the scene. In the next scene, Vincent Vega and Marcellus Wallace's wife.
Oh,
Uma Thurman.
real quick, can we go back to that?
Yeah, no,
So,
please.
so the guy that was hiding in the bathroom during that, do you know who that was?
Jerry Seinfeld.
And it looked like him, but that is actually the guy from The Wedding Singer. That it's an Arquette. That's a boy. That's a girl.
Okay.
That was him.
Patricia Arquette.
Yeah,
Right?
It's
No,
not
no,
Patricia Arquette. It's the Arquette brother. That's like
the guy that's
the cross-
girl.
cross-dresser,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Wedding Singer. Do
Yeah.
you really want to hurt me? Singing
Yes.
Culture Club. That was him.
Being a dude.
Being a dude in
Gotcha.
the bathroom. He's the one that comes out then and tries to like
Them
point
Arquettes
the
are
gun
everywhere.
at him and all that. Yeah.
That we won't find out in the original cut of the movie for a while yet. But that's good to know in advance.
Oh shit! I thought they showed that at the.
No.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Oh,
That
my
cuts
fault.
to that you're jumping to Bruce Willis, right?
This scene ends with them unloading on Brett,
Brett.
and it fades out to black.
All right,
It's just
later.
foreshadowed.
Yeah,
That's fine.
just foreshadow. But I'll just talk about it when we get to that point. I was thinking that happened right then, but you're right. This movie's all over the place.
boom.
Talk about it again.
Everybody's
Whatever.
seen this movie,
And it's
Yeah.
out of order.
Pulp Fiction.
It's out of order.
True. I guess they wouldn't remember maybe either. So
No.
fuck it. Whatever.
No, fuck it. You don't have to cut that. Yeah, it's a movie. It's a podcast because then it makes it seem like it's too structured. You don't want to.
You mean like orderly and shit like that?
Yeah.
You don't want that. Have you ever seen Disorderlies?
That's
the Fat
right.
Boys.
That's right.
You know, it would have been cool. We should have did this movie in reverse. Like started talking about the end and taking it.
We could do, or we could have done
You
it
open
in
up the-
chronological order.
That would have been cool.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I want to get to bed before 9.
Yeah. True.
We ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
So in the next scene, Vincent Vega and Marcellus Wallace's wife. At a bar, Marcellus meets with a boxer named Butch Coolidge. Marcellus bribes him into taking a dive in the 5th round of an upcoming boxing match, thereby allowing Marcellus to know the outcome and bet heavily on the fight. Vincent and Jules arrive at the bar to meet with Marcellus. Both are wearing seemingly odd attire, talking shorts, t-shirts, flip-flops.
Yeah.
While waiting, the bartender, Paul, is swift to razz Vincent about his forthcoming task of taking Marcellus's wife out on the town. It's not on the date. It's not a date while Marcellus is away. This is a quote that I still to this day use. As Vincent's explaining to him, like, look, it's not a date, man. It's not anything. And so the bartender says, look, my name's Paul, and this is between y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Still use that.
Still, that guy was supposed to play the Samuel L. Jackson part.
That's correct.
Yeah,
he
it was
read
a
he
fun
read extremely well for the Samuel L. Jackson part. And he
Mhm.
almost got it, but
How can,
Samuel
you
was
not, how can you
convinced.
not give it to Samuel L. Jackson?
But yeah,
It's one of those things.
for sure.
Yeah, Samuel just thought he was just there to read along.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was just, yeah, okay, I'm just helping the guy out to get the part.
Right.
Oh, well. Butch and Vincent have a brief exchange at the bar. It's clear that Vincent is not a fan of Butch. Later, we see a scene of Vincent buying heroin from his drug dealer before his forthcoming get-together with Mia Wallace. Vincent shoots up at his drug dealer's house before he departs. Now that scene, like, there's no people. All you see is hands and drugs and heroin cooking on a spoon. Like it's almost like making it sexy, like glorifying it.
Right.
Like it's like the heroine is the actor.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Vincent arrives at Marcellus and Mia's house, high as hell, but certainly in control of himself. After having a drink for himself, and after Mia does a couple of lines of coke, she finally greets him and off they go to Jackrabbit Slim's, which is a 50s-style pop culture restaurant. Now, in the meantime, I should have mentioned Mia had been watching him from a security control room in the house,
Yeah.
speaking to him through the house's intercom.
Yeah, and I love that online. They take that the special effects or tools or whatever online. People take that Travolta walking around kind of like,
Mhm.
where are you at? Where are you at? People take that and like superimpose it over different things like on the internet to make GIFs and memes
Yeah.
and whatever else like that. That scene of him like looking for her because she's talking over the intercom. Like I could show you a million examples of that if you look it up.
Huh.
Which is cool. I was just looking at Dave's, collector's edition of Pulp Fiction, and they actually have the whole Jackrabbit Slims, the next best thing to a time machine. They actually have the whole menu
Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
with the hamburgers.
What are the
sandwiches.
prices in there? Pretty cheap.
$7.25 for Slim's famous speed burger.
Well, that's LA, so
What was the one that they said that was it 20 the whatever the dollar burger?
That was the Durwood Kirby burger.
The Durwood Kirby. Let me look for that in here. There's the California Hair Burger, German Burger, Chili Burger. No, they don't have the Derby Burger in here.
Kerwood Derby burger.
Hot sandwiches. Is that like an off menu thing, like
Might
at
be.
Jersey Mike's?
Or is it Durwood Kirby?
I'm not sure.
Maybe it's Durwood Kirby.
Oh, the $5 milkshake. Was
That's
that
a
it?
$5 shake.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a $5 shake, which is one of the fountain menu there.
And that's indeed $5.
It is indeed $5
About
shake.
that?
No bourbon.
They have chicken kebabs there.
Mm.
That's crazy. Yes, but the whole menu, very cool.
Did you know they re-released it? Not re-released it, but they added the movie. They added some extra scenes to that movie. Like it's
Pulp
added
Fiction?
extra time to this scene. So when Mia comes out and says, "Okay, let's go," and all you see is her feet, and then off they go. The
What,
scene
in the apartment there? In the house.
in Marcellus Wallace's house. The original movie, she comes out with a video camera and is asking Vince questions and talking to him, and you're seeing the recording of him all stoned while she's asking him questions and shit.
And
like
that's
if you
what
were-
we'd have saw at the theater back then?
no, that's what you would have seen recently.
Recently, okay.
So they've just since, like, if you look up, if you pull Pulp Fiction off of wherever,
So like director's cut.
ish, maybe. Like, I know if you just watch it on the telly, that's what you're gonna see.
Yeah, I had the DVD, the cut, but I watched it on Netflix. And I didn't see it on there, but
Okay.
I wonder if it's like on, like he said, maybe like
Like recently on
extended
television.
edition.
Yeah, recently on television. If you see it, you're gonna see that. Because I was just watching the other couple of weeks ago, and it was on. I was like, "What the hell is this?"
I wonder if they do that. Why would they do that? I guess, but because they have to take out a bunch of scenes, maybe to add more
Well,
time.
the television version has gotten so weird because some channels show it pretty much to the movie. Other
Yeah.
channels have it like at strange scenes where you're like, where did that go? Or because it's kind of still made for TV, but they let so much more go today.
So like IFC, I've seen it on IFC. They will let
Everything go.
correct. Dude, I've seen nudity on
Yes.
IFC. Like
Oh, for real?
In the middle of the afternoon.
Roadhouse. If you watch Roadhouse on IFC, they take nothing out. You will
whole
see
thing,
all boob scenes. You will see everything.
Wow. I know Benny Hill used to do that back in the day. I swear to God, I used to watch that.
There
at
were
night
no
and there'd
boobs
be-
on it though.
There were boobs.
on Benny Hill.
Yes, I
I just remember like doop, 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 doop.
I remember
Like
seeing
through the bushes
nudity.
and
That's
stuff.
correct.
Like after a certain time, I think they were allowed.
Well, no, they would get like down to the bra, I think, and sometimes like the lady would have like her underwear and bra be on.
Maybe
I don't know.
it's-
I think that's what I remember.
Maybe I was just
My
thinking.
pap used to watch it.
I used to watch.
It was
I
on like
used to
PBS.
Love Benny Hill.
Oh my God, yeah.
Slap that guy on the head.
What's Benny Hill and Monty Python?
Python.
Python, yeah.
Okay, sorry. That they go to shoots up, sexy, wait, control room, done. Oh, so off to Jack Rabbit Slim's, the 50s style pop
50
restaurant.
style pop. We just went through the menu.
Pop culture
Sorry.
restaurant, that's right. So I had a stroke. So at Jack Rabbit Slim's, we find Ed Sullivan is the maitre d'. Note, Steve Buscemi, who is dressed as Buddy Holly, is their waiter.
Yes.
And all servers are dressed and made up to look like 50s pop icons.
Icons.
It's like
yeah.
what Marilyn Monroe's in there.
Yep.
Now,
Other, James Dean.
Yep.
have you been to Disney World?
Yes.
Have you ever gone to the 50 Sci-Fi Diner at the, I think Hollywood Studios? They have a restaurant, and it's almost,
Jack Rabbit Slims.
it just reminds me of Jack Rabbit's. They have
Really?
they have the cars you can sit in and order, but in this Sci-Fi Diner, they have looks like you're at a drive-in, but so there's a big screen and a movie playing, but it very much reminds me of this Jack Rabbit when we were watching it. I said, man, this looks like that Disney restaurant we were at. So, but I've never seen anything else like this.
No.
It's Jack Rabbit Slims.
I've always wanted to go to a restaurant like that.
It's very cool.
We could start that.
Yeah,
We can.
It'd be a good idea downtown
Look
Harrisburg.
what happened like Hard Rock Cafe. That was like a cool thing when it
Get
started.
the Rod's
too.
Roadhouse. You could turn that into.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a good spot.
Wait, that pretty much is Rod's Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Indeed. You put a bunch of
You
old
did.
beat up cars in there. There it is.
Yeah, there it is. You have it.
Yep.
So these two order their meals. Vincent rolls a cigarette for her. They discuss Mia having once been on a pilot for a television show, which is Fox Force 5. Now, this whole scene includes Mia like subtly flirting with Vincent, right? Like there's flirtation happening, like basically sipping that shake alone. Like her taking a sip from his shake with his straw, that's fucking flirting, man.
Yeah.
You're basically like broken, just ever so slightly broken kissing.
Yeah.
She's hooking him, and I think that goes back to like the whole thing too with with the foot thing. Like she could have just said, "Are you going to rub my feet?" or something like that. I don't know. She had him. She gave the eyes and the.
She's loose. She knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
She knows exactly what she's doing. Well, Mia departs to powder her nose, which really means
Coca-Cola.
Coca.
That's right. Blow a few more lines of Coke. Upon her return, their meals have arrived, and the conversation soon turns to the topic of Marcellus having thrown that guy, Tony Rocky Whore, out of a window for having given Mia a foot massage. Suddenly, the world-famous Jackrabbit Slim's Twist Contest is announced. Mia volunteers the both of them to enter and dance through the competition. They dance excellently, by the way, and they win.
That was a Teenage Wedding, was the name of the song?
Was that Chuck Berry or not Chuck Berry?
I don't know who it was, but it's a cool song. It's a good song.
I think that is Chuck. Well, man, so I used to listen to this. I had this soundtrack on cassette, and I listened to the shit out of it.
I think it's Teenage Wedding. I'm not sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's Chuck Berry.
I think it might have been, but it's a good song. I like that song. I like this, like you said, the soundtracks.
But going back to the rolling a cigarette, I think that's an art that is going by the wayside.
Yeah.
No, not if you're not. If my dad, he's on
Does he roll?
fixed income. He rolls his own cigarettes. He's got a whole
The machine and everything.
Yeah, because it's cheaper. He's got a big,
cool.
You buy a big, like 5-pound bag of that shit.
Yeah, you get the bag in it. You spend all day like watching movies,
When
just rolling your own.
Sure. When you're retired, what else you got to do?
Right?
You got time on your hands.
IFC, like he was talking about,
Yeah.
or is that? Well, no, Turner Classic.
TCM, Turner
TCM.
Classic Movies.
Rolled cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? That's his whole deal.
That's his jam.
That's cool.
I say good
That's
for
cool.
him.
Yep.
That man's a hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lost art though. Like rolling without the rolling machine.
Without
Just just sitting there and rolling a cigarette you can smoke.
Right.
Cool.
It'll get you to quit just because you're spending so much time rolling a goddamn cigarette. It's like, shit, hell with this, man. I don't have time for that.
Well, come to think of it, I don't think I think they come like already kind of ready.
Well, then
I don't
that's
think he
buying a
actually-
cigarette.
No. I'm saying he fills them, but they're already.
I can tell you, he buys, and they are already rolled, and they already have a filter on the bottom of
Yes.
So the machine that he gets rolls the tobacco into a tubular form
And
of pressed tobacco, and then it inserts that sausage. It's like making sausage.
Right.
That's exactly what it is. You're
But
making
with
sausage
tobacco.
with tobacco.
So he's not really. He's kind of cheating a little bit.
Tobacco sausage.
Yeah.
Well, there's one that, like other things, not tobacco, but you can grind it up and it comes in like the tube, and you can pack the tube. But it's the same thing with cigarettes.
Yeah.
Other things.
Other thing.
No, it's like you do it with cigarettes also, but you don't have to grind it up as much.
Gotcha.
Right.
Funky.
So after winning the Jackrabbit Slim's Twist contest, they returned to Marcellus's and Mia's house with trophy in hand.
Good job.
Yeah.
I say good
They
job.
did. They danced their asses off. That's
Yeah.
something. Actually, my daughter, she's 8, but she's seen that dance and she loves it. She thinks it's like the coolest thing.
Now I do know that dance was from another movie. That exact dance choreography was
Really?
from another movie.
Really?
Yeah.
John Travolta?
like a foreign movie. Yeah. That whole dance they were doing was from another movie.
That's
that
awesome.
They pulled it
I
from.
thought they made that up themselves.
No,
Me too.
it was pulled off like another movie.
Holy shit.
I looked that up. That you guys talk.
Okay.
Vincent steps away to go to the bathroom, realizing that he needs to control himself in what has become a very awkward situation. Things
Yeah.
are getting a little too close between he and Mia.
You know what happens when you get close to Mia?
Not
You
good
get thrown
things.
out of a fucking window.
That's right. Yeah.
So while he's away,
Like the Cecil.
that's right,
Yeah.
just like the Cecil Hotel. While he's away, Mia finds a bag of what she thinks is cocaine in the pocket of Vince's coat. But as we all know, the bag is actually the heroin he'd purchased earlier that day.
Yeah, that's the heroin. Now it's a fresh form too. That was the good shit.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
good. It's funny that, so this came out in 94, right?
Yep.
And you hear Lance, when he sells this to Vincent, he's like, look, coke is dead. Heroin is coming back in a big way.
In a big way. Yeah.
And lo and behold, these years later, it sure as hell did.
It is. Yeah. Good old Lance.
Lance, you're wise beyond your years.
Mm-hmm.
So she snorts a sizable line of this heroin and is immediately now in a very bad way. Vincent returns to find her unconscious with nose bleeding and mouth foaming and realizes she's overdosed. He takes her to the house of his drug dealer, Lance, as he certainly can't take her to a hospital. Note, when he calls Lance on the way there, Lance is eating a bowl
I
of
love that. Yeah.
Fruity Brute cereal.
Yep.
So that was that was actually the 4th installment of the
Monster.
the
Yeah.
monster stuff.
Like Count Chocula.
Yeah. Lance played by Eric Stoltz,
Yep.
Yeah.
which played a good drug
Oh, he
dealer.
did a great job.
But back to that was called Band Apart was the movie by Jean-Luc Godard.
Yeah, I knew it was like a.
A
Is
19
that the guy from Star
Jean-Luc
Trek?
Picard.
No,
Yeah.
Godard.
Patrick Stewart.
Jean-Luc Godard. 1964 crime drama Band Apart. And that's where he took it from. Even though people say that the dance between Travolta and
If you look at them
Uma
side,
Thurman
side
was-
by side, they're almost identical.
they are identical.
A
They were
Band
filmed-
Apart.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a French movie.
It is a French movie,
With Gal
1964.
Gadot. Jean-Luc Picard.
Luc Godard.
Yeah.
He sounds like a hockey player.
It's wild.
But yeah, there you have it.
So Lance wants none of this. Lance wants nothing to do with some OD and broad,
You know,
but he's forced to help.
when they showed him earlier, like getting the drugs and all that from Lance, I pictured it as an apartment. And even in my head watching
Yeah.
it again, and when they actually show up and it's like a house,
Yep.
I was kind of shocked by that. I don't
Yep.
know why. I just thought of this guy living in an apartment. I don't know.
Again, for also too with the drugs, like John said, they made the drugs seem really, really cool.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like
So sexy.
I guess
Glamorized
you
it.
can like if you're really cool, you wear a suit, you do like good drugs, and you hang out with beautiful women.
And you
Pretty much is what it was
you
telling.
carry a stack of money the size of a brick in your pocket.
Oh, yeah.
Because money is everywhere.
Cash is king in that world.
Mm-hmm.
So Lance wants nothing to do with this, but he has to. He has to help. And this scene is nothing short of chaotic. I mean, Lance's wife is with all this shit in her face. His wife's nagging and complaining. Everyone's hysterical. And with a medical book for instruction, a felt tip pen, and a hypodermic needle of adrenaline that just happened to be available in the refrigerator, Vincent stabs the hypodermic needle into Mia's heart, instantly bringing her back to life and alleviating her overdose. Vincent returns Mia to her house with the understanding that the two of them will never speak of this to Marcellus.
Which again, that scene, I think, how you said chaotic, yet just seeing these guys like red mark here,
Yeah.
I think it goes here. I don't, and then just the,
Yeah.
and then the Uma Thurman's like,
Yeah.
was just one of the coolest scenes.
Yeah.
I think it's one part of the movie that I really like that's not talked about very much.
It's not. So they're talking. He's like, "But wait a second. So you're what you're doing, Vincent, is you're giving her a shot of adrenaline to the heart, and it's right under her breastplate, and you have to."
Oh,
and he press on the breastplate, so you have to come at her in a stabbing motion and get that knife and get that needle through her. He's like, "So I have to stab her 3 times." No. Just stab her once.
Yeah, but the whole thing behind it was just like they had no idea what they did, but yet it still worked. And like you said, adrenaline in the refrigerator because they're drug addicts, so they need it eventually.
So much of this is again dialogue driven. It really is.
Do you guys know the fun fact on the way they filmed that?
No.
So he really thrust down hard, but they actually filmed it in reverse.
So he's like,
he's actually thrusting up like very
it's like a-
powerfully, so it looks that way.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
Genius.
smart.
So that's how they filmed
like
it
that.
too.
That's cool.
Yeah, to make it a little more.
Safer for Uma Thurman's breastplate.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
She's frail. She's a tiny woman.
Mm-hmm.
In the next scene, we meet a very young Butch Coolidge, a boy at the time, who was visited by a friend of his father's from the Vietnam War, Captain Coons. He's there to deliver a watch. Now, look, I know we got to keep all of this decent, so after telling the story of the watch, which included both he and Butch's father having to hide the watch up their asses while in a POW camp, he gives the watch to Butch.
Yeah.
That's Bruce Willis.
It's Bruce Willis
Yes.
as a kid.
Yeah.
Again, please, the dialogue in this is fantastic.
That's great. And this one I think is like these are all kind of stories that were kind of thrown together into this movie. What was this? The watch story was one that came from that Roger Avery, I think.
Okay.
I'm pretty certain on that. I think that's the way it was. So that's like one of the things that they had all these ideas they were throwing around. There was stuff that was supposed to be in True Romance and these other movies and stuff. But that was a cool like scene just mixed into this movie. And I remember back when I saw this movie, how it was kind of all over the place. And it's just so cool how the things tie together.
Heck yeah.
But your first time watching it, I would love to be in my head at that time and think like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
What's this have to do with anything? You
Right.
know?
So Tarantino was such, I guess, a lover of old movies, which made him the director that he is, that he would take all these and piece them
Push them
together.
together. I had never seen anything like this at that time. Like that I can remember. I had never seen a movie like this. Back
No
then,
one had.
No.
No one had. He broke he was a trailblazer with this movie.
Yeah.
What was that television show that Butch was watching when Christopher Walken showed up?
Was it a Western?
It was like a cartoon, wasn't it?
It was a cartoon-ish, but what it was is really a cartoon drawing, and only the lips move.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, that tenderfoot, he think totem pole alive.
Wait,
Yeah,
was it
what
the
was
Looney
it?
Tunes?
No, it was no Looney Tunes.
It was some weird-ass show, like
Yeah.
from the fucking, I don't know,
60s?
60s.
Yeah.
It was pretty weird. Anyways, all of this happened. Butch was having a dream. He was dreaming about this having happened way back when. He was, in reality, we flash forward here to the fight where Butch is supposed to lose in the 5th round.
Mm-hmm.
He was just taking a quick little nap before the fight, and
So he was dreaming.
he was dreaming about that. It was a flashback for him.
thinking about that watch.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now the story of the gold watch. So Butch chooses to not throw the fight. Instead, he wins and actually unintentionally kills the guy he was fighting in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out, Butch bet big on himself to win, considering that the odds had been stacked in his favor once word of the fixed fight got out. After a long cab ride, he arrives at his hotel, tips the cab driver to keep her mouth shut about having seen him, and off to his room he goes. We meet Fabienne, Butch's girlfriend. After a pillow talk discussion between the two, they make love. After they've both showered, they plan their forthcoming lives, knowing that a significant amount of money from winnings is coming their way.
So is pillow talk before you make love, or I thought that was after?
It's kind of like, if you're sitting there like,
Before you get to sexy time?
could be like if you're close to pillows,
Like pre and post sexy time?
hell yeah.
I got you.
Hell yeah.
Two things I wanted to touch on in that sequence of scenes is, did you guys notice in the cab ride how like the back, how they show like the background of the car,
Like it was on purpose meant to look like
bad.
bad. Something,
Yeah.
the special effects from like the 40s or 50s.
Okay, yeah,
That you would run a shitty, kind of like
Like
how they do in
backtrack-
Seinfeld.
like or on SNL.
Yeah,
Like,
SNL.
yeah,
Exactly.
like an SNL. And then the second thing I wanted to touch on, did you guys pick up on, or did you think that she was kind of alluding to being pregnant when she was talking about a pot belly?
I thought about that now, having just recently watched it for purposes of doing this podcast,
Mm-hmm.
but it was only for a split second. I don't think there was enough there for her to say, or for anyone to say like, oh yeah, she's got one in the oven, or she wants to get pregnant.
Yeah, I was just wondering about her obsession with a pot. You think a pot belly is so like
Yeah.
looks good on it? And
She was
I
what,
thinking-
French?
Yeah, she was like, I liked her.
Her accent? Like, what was
Yeah.
that?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it was weird.
Like it was Costa Rican or something.
Yeah, I don't
like
know
it
what
was.
it was.
It was like a weird French, but not like an islandy.
There
I
was
don't
an
know. It was-
exotic
yeah.
something to it. Like it certainly like wasn't Mexican,
Mm-hmm.
or it wasn't. No, it was further south of the border.
Yeah, there was something going on there.
Mm.
But yeah, I didn't know what to take with that. Like watching it now, I picked up on that. I'm like, what's this all about?
I don't know.
I think as being older now, I'm more into the dialogue than
Sure.
I probably was back when I was 18 when I saw this.
Yeah, I still want to find out what that goddamn show was.
Yeah, did you find it?
No, it didn't say.
It's
Just
all right.
it goes in a bunch of stuff with Walk-In and the watch, and it has like 80 million stories behind the watch, but nothing showing of what the movie or the show was that he was watching.
Mm.
It's the Arctic Bird Giant Clutch Cargo
Clutch Cargo.
is what it's called, and it's the Arctic Bird Giant. That's the name of the episode.
I need that in my life. I'm sure that's on YouTube.
Yeah, Clutch Cargo. Look that one up. That's the
Clutch
cartoon.
Cargo.
Yeah, the watch at.
That's cool as shit.
There's 2 seasons of Clutch Cargo.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
1959.
Perfecto. You think totem pole alive? Oh God, oh God. All right. So infuriated with Fabian not having packed his watch, Butch makes his way to their apartment, a place he desperately wishes to avoid because he knows an agent of Marcellus's will be there looking for him. Upon arriving, he stealthily makes his way in and grabs the watch. He's surprised to find no one there. He's then equally surprised to find a suppressed submachine gun sitting on his counter.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Sure. I'd be curious as to why I got a submachine gun with a suppressor sitting on it on my counter.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out, Vincent Vega had been sent to collect him if he were to return. But poor Vince took a bathroom break at the wrong time. And when he came out of the bathroom, Butch made short work of him with his own submachine gun. That was a freaky scene, man. Just shot him. He just exploded. How quickly those bullets fired out and so quietly.
Mm-hmm.
And into the bathtub, there goes dead-ass Vince.
So timeline-wise, because this movie's out of order, that would have been near the end?
100%.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Because I'm saying he's in his other clothes in the middle and that. Okay, yeah.
This would absolutely be at the end.
Okay.
Now free and clear, Butch gets back into his car and drives away to return to Fabian. Of all the luck, who should be crossing the street at the same intersection at which he stops? None other than Marcellus Wallace himself.
Mm-hmm.
Butch hits him with the car, and immediately himself is T-boned by an oncoming driver.
Yes.
Which is, that's just fucked up.
Do you know where that was taken from? That scene? Inspired by?
Bullet.
No.
Good try.
Pretty sure it was Psycho. Was there a scene in that where he sees him walking across the street?
Psycho?
Like the original?
I'm pretty sure that was the one. There was what?
I don't remember
Let me
that in
look it up
Psycho.
now. There was a movie that scene was pulled from where somebody's walking across the street and they meet eyes. I thought it was Psycho. So I just saw a thing on it.
Would it be Vertigo?
Maybe. Was there a scene in that where they see?
I think that the likelihood of a scene like that would be more likely to be in Vertigo than it would be in Psycho. Because Psycho all takes place at some old...
Was it supposed to be a Hitchcock movie then? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Peyronie's disease.
Butch hitting Marcellus.
Anyways.
Well, I'm
Peyronie's disease.
Was that from
No, that's...
Rear Window? Yeah, it's like a woo. It's like a...
They call it bent carrot. So
Yeah.
when I hear somebody say Hitchcock, I think of Peyronie's disease.
Oh, I get it. I was like, I didn't understand the joke.
No, Rear Window, all of that takes place in the courtyard of all of these hotel or these apartment buildings. P.S. Rear Window is my favorite Hitchcock movie.
Oh, yeah, I remember you saying that on the one.
Love it. Well,
Yeah, I have that pulled up and I can't.
if you can find out,
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna look it
you
up.
might know better than me. I didn't hear anything on that.
I just saw it and I could have swore it was, but if you know Psycho, that's why I was thinking you were gonna know that. And if there wasn't a scene in there,
like the whole of Psycho takes place in a
Is this Psycho right here? That's
an
Psycho.
old
I think that's the
stick
same.
hotel.
yeah, right here. That's the scene
Yeah, I think it's the girl from Psycho.
where she sees him in the street walking by and they meet eyes. But I don't know that he hits her or that she hits him in the movie. But that whole scene where he walks across and she's in the car and their eyes meet.
That was in Psycho.
In Pulp Fiction, Butch sits at a traffic light when he locks eyes with Marcellus Wallace as he crosses the street. This is a homage to Psycho, where Marion Crane, making her escape after stealing a substantial amount of money from the work, sees her boss as he crosses the street.
Oh,
So it is Psycho.
So, but she doesn't hit him though. I guess
No.
that's why I was getting
That was-
confused.
I got it.
Brought to you by Dave.
So,
Yeah.
and that's my fault. I was thinking the whole time she was seeing Norman Bates.
Yeah, that's,
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
thought the same thing. I was like, I don't remember that from Psycho.
Yeah.
It was at the
Okay.
very end or before. Yeah.
That was in the very beginning.
Yes.
Because
Right.
that's why she was skipping out of town. Because
Right.
she stole all that
She
money.
stole that money.
And all that money went into the drink.
And that's the thing with Tarantino.
That's
being,
right. They got her car. They pushed it into. I forgot all about that movie.
Tarantino being such a lover of cinema is going to pull all those references
Sure.
from all these movies and just put it into,
Why
makes
not?
sense. I just didn't learn about any of this till recently. Like
We should do a Hitchcock movie. Those are actually pretty good. I haven't seen them in forever.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I would love to, because you know what? I haven't seen a lot of Hitchcock movies. I mean, I've seen Psycho, obviously, and The Birds, and maybe a couple other ones. But Rear Window, I don't
Yeah,
think
we'll do
I've ever
Rear
seen.
Window.
Such a
That was
good
what
one.
Jimmy Stewart.
Indeed it
Yeah.
was. After the T-bone,
Steak.
time passes, and as both of the men awaken from their traumatized states, Marcellus begins the chase to get Butch. And so this is Marcellus Wallace got knocked the fuck out by getting hit by a car,
Mhm.
and Bruce Willis is sitting there, nursing a
broken
broken
Yeah.
nose, bleeding all over the place. As Butch is running, he enters a pawn shop in an attempt to hide, and when Marcellus enters, Butch bests him and knocks him out. Just as Butch is about to kill Marcellus, he's stopped by the store owner, who's pointing a shotgun at him. Butch is then also knocked out by the store owner. When both men awaken, we find them tied to chairs, both with ball gags in their mouths, in the basement of the pawn shop.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Old Dirty Basement. Yeah.
That's an old dirty one. The store owner leaves to allow a few other people to enter the establishment. A police officer named Zed and a man dressed in a black leather suit, the Gimp.
Mr. Gimpy.
Yeah.
The store owner, Zed, and the Gimp have some nasty plans of a deviant sexual nature for Marcellus and Butch.
What could those devious plans be?
Well,
Yeah.
Marcellus is the first to be raped. He's led to a closed room with Zed and the storekeeper, leaving the Gimp to stand watch over Butch. While Marcellus is being violated in his ass,
Yes, that's where you were going with that.
Butch breaks the bonds holding him captive, knocks the Gimp unconscious, and swiftly departs. But something in him can't leave Marcellus to continue to be violated like that. And he certainly wants to exact revenge on his captors.
He's like, man, I just can't leave him. I just can't leave him like that, man.
But
Yeah.
equally, he can't. There's just something in it, like you want to get back at these guys.
Yeah. And he knows that he wants to get, they have something in common now. There's like a bro code that was met.
But the thing is, so which one was the driver? What kept him in that store to find that sword and go back down there? Was it A, to save Marcellus, or was it B, to exact his revenge? Which was the stronger of the two drivers?
Yeah, the revenge, I believe, was the
I think it was the revenge.
Yeah. And you wonder about like his dad in Vietnam and all that, or whatever war he was in. Was it Vietnam his dad was in? Yeah, like
he was in that Hanoi pit of hell.
Yeah, if he thought something about that.
He grabs a sword from the pawn shop and returns to the basement. He kills the storekeeper and simultaneously frees Marcellus. Marcellus grabs his shotgun and blasts Zed's nuts off.
Yeah, how did Marcellus get loose? Was he just kind of? I thought they had him like strapped down.
No, I think the other guy, I think he wasn't strapped down enough. I think when the other guy got killed, the other guy saw what was going on and went over, and that gave him time to get out of whatever
Oh, okay.
binds he was in.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense then.
Wouldn't the other guy have a gun also?
So his gun is near him.
Yeah, but I mean, if you were to make any moves, the guy would have gat you anyway.
Well, so if Zed were, so I'm sorry, Butch is holding him at bay with a sword. Were he to have moved his hand close enough to go get that gun, that's plenty of time for Butch to basically just impale him with that sword.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
So what now? So these two exchange this. So both of these, the one guy's hurt, one guy's dead, the other guy's hurt.
His balls shot off.
The Gimp was knocked unconscious, so he's just dangling there. So Butch asks him, "What now?" And he explains, "What now? I'm gonna call a couple of hard pipe hitting beep to go to work on the homes here with a pair of pliers and a blowtorch. You hear me talking, hillbilly boy? I ain't through with you by a damn sight. I'm going to get medieval on your ass."
That's
so
cool.
that getting medieval on your ass, I mean, we heard that for years.
Yeah.
After this movie came out, everybody in the world used something about getting medieval on something.
Weird Al
Yeah.
Yankovic.
I mean, you heard that as much as you heard, oh God, people doing awful impressions of Austin Powers.
Yeah.
It was just
Went
that
on for a while. Yeah.
It was just that popular and just anyway. So Butch and Marcellus part ways with a new understanding. No one is to ever know what happened to them, especially Marcellus, and Butch is to leave town and never return. Butch takes Zed's bike, returns to Fabian, and the two depart. So yes, if this were in timeline order, this would 100% be the end. 100%. But it's not.
So the Travolta shooting would have been right before this. Yes, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then he got in the car. Okay, yeah,
Yep.
yep. Leading into this, and this is the end. Okay.
Yep.
Makes sense.
In the next scene, the Bonnie situation. We return to the scene where Vincent and Jules had visited the three young men in their apartment. Turns out there was a fourth man, and he'd been hiding in wait. So, indeed, Dave, good job.
Yeah, I was saying.
And that guy does look like Jerry Seinfeld. I swear to God.
He does look like Seinfeld, but that's actually an Arquette. It's
Yes.
the one Arquette from The Wedding Singer. That's like playing like Boy George, basically, Culture Club.
The cross-dresser,
The cross-dresser, yeah.
touching his nips.
Singing, he kept redoing, "Do you really want to hurt me?"
Yeah.
You know, that guy. I was looking at him like, he looks familiar. How do I know him? And then I hit the menu thing, and the cast comes up, and I'm like, oh, an Arquette. That's him.
there's no way I would have ever linked those two together.
Really, yeah.
I thought Seinfeld's kid, something like that.
He does kind of have a Seinfeld look to it.
Seinfeld's kid.
Yeah.
You got to start somewhere.
Yep.
So after executing Brett, the fourth man comes out with a gun blazing. Somehow, he missed them, Jules and Vincent, with every single bullet.
That was what he said, divine intervention.
That's right.
Divine intervention,
He's like, man, that's divine intervention. He's like, nah, man, this shit happens all the time.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you talking about, this religious shit? And like, nah, man, it's divine intervention.
It's a miracle. So Vince and Jules immediately make short work of him. Jules is, of course, taken aback with the idea that all the bullets missed them. And you will note, if you'll see these, like, Jules steps aside and looks back. If you look, there's holes in the wall where his torso actually had been.
Right.
So, and I can see where he could come up with that.
Mm-hmm.
So he believes it to be a miracle, and his thoughts on life begin to change. As the two drive to Marcellus with the briefcase, they discuss the miracle amongst themselves, and with the only living young man left in the group, who was Marvin.
Yeah, they bring him
Marvin.
along.
Marvin, he was on Mad TV. They actually did a mashup on Mad TV that same year or the next year of Pulp Fiction and Forrest Gump. I think it was called like.
It's seriously?
Yeah, I think it was called like
Fiction.
Gump Fiction.
Gump
Yeah, they did
Fiction.
like a mashup, and he was on that episode or whatever
That's hilarious.
because he was on Mad TV. Yeah,
It's pretty good.
because that was another one. I looked at him like he looks familiar, and he was from Mad TV. He was the UPS guy. Have you ever seen the skit on Mad TV with the hyper UPS guy?
I missed it.
Yeah, that's a great skit.
Okay.
That's the guy that plays the UPS guy.
Oh.
It's funny.
So while discussing this whole miracle thing, Vincent accidentally shoots Marvin in the head.
Wasn't he talking to him? He's like, he has the gun pointed at him. They're hitting,
Correct.
They're like hitting a bump or whatever. Boom.
Boom, went off.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's like, what do you think, Marvin? I mean,
he turns around.
he's just nonchalant. He's actually friendly with Marvin about it.
He likes him.
Just shoots him as he points the gun at him and shoots him. Like, Marvin, I would have laid down if somebody's pointing a gun at me like that.
There was a cut of that too where they showed him actually his head exploding. They had to cut it.
Too graphic?
NC-17 it was going to be or something like that.
Interesting.
And they had to cut it out.
Which is surprising because I think Harvey Keitel was involved in, not Harvey Keitel.
Harvey Keitel was in it.
No. Who's the guy? Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein, yeah.
I think Weinstein was involved in this. I know that he was involved in a number of Tarantino movies, but I would think that if he were to have been involved in this, he would have been a big clout that would have said, come on, man, make it already.
Just do it, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
The inside of this car is now covered in blood and brain bits, and they need to find a place quickly to get themselves cleaned up. Off to Jules' friend Jimmy's place.
Yeah.
Jimmy, played by... Oh, shit, I didn't even mention him. Jimmy, played by Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is in the cast.
He makes a hell of a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
That's what I remember.
Damn, this is that gourmet shit.
That was great.
I'm not here to talk about my fucking coffee, Jules.
Mm-hmm.
So there they call Marcellus for instruction, and Marcellus sends the wolf, who's the fixer.
Harvey Keitel.
Harvey Keitel.
Yeah, it's cool.
The wolf arrives, diffuses the situation, and lays the plan. Now, with the interior of the car now camouflaged to hide the blood, and Jules and Vincent cleaned up and now wearing those shorts and T-shirts and flip-flops we had seen earlier when they arrived at the bar, they're off to Monster Joe's Truck and Tow to ditch the car with Marvin's dead body in it. After ditching the car, the two go to breakfast.
I enjoyed the wolf's character when he came in. It was Vince, right? That got smart with him.
Yeah, he was talking shit.
Yeah. And then
He's like, don't tell me what to do. I'm a grown man.
Yeah, the
Right?
way
Yeah.
that another part of the dialogue that you said so many times earlier, just the back and how smooth that he took it and just was like, hey, this is what I am doing for you right now. So you sit there and listen.
Right.
And he explained the whole situation. I
Yeah.
just thought it was a cool scene.
Harvey Keitel, I wonder how badly or how difficult it was for Harvey Keitel to do this, because you could see him almost fumbling over syllables as he was talking. Like he was almost there, like fumbling. He got by just barely, but he used a lot of polysyllabic words, and he spoke very swiftly because that's just what his character had to do.
Mm-hmm.
In other movies, he never had to talk like that.
Right.
Because he had time.
He
Here
had
it's,
time.
it's time is wasting.
Yeah.
You have this amount of time to do this amount of work. You grab these blankets. Does your wife have any comforters? This, that. I did enjoy where he did sip the coffee. He's like, He gave him like
Yeah.
he didn't say anything, but he gave him like,
That's some good call.
yeah, like thank you.
Yeah.
It was, loved the Wolf's car, by the way.
NSX. Yeah.
Yeah, Nissan Pulsar.
And he drove that fast. He's
That-
like, we're about 30 minutes. I would get there in 13 or something like that, or 15.
And those Acura NSXs, even
Was it Acura or was it Nissan? Oh, I mean,
It's
it's the same
Acura
family.
NSX.
Acura is like a luxury Honda.
There's like $100,000.
Okay.
But they're
Vehicle.
still, like, if you get an old NSX, they're still worth tons of money.
Yeah.
A guy I know, I should say, has one covered in his garage, an Acura. And I think he was saying somebody offered him like 70 grand for it because they're so
For the Wolf's car.
Well, a similar, not the Wolf's car, but same model,
Huh.
around the same year. I think the one he had is a 91, the guy that I know. And it's sitting in his garage. It's his son's car. He's keeping it there, and he won't sell it.
That's awesome.
But they're sought after.
That is amazeballs. So they go to breakfast at the diner. Funny how things circle back.
Mm-hmm.
We started this movie at a diner, and the two share breakfast, and Jules reveals that he'll be quitting the murder for hire business as a result of the day's goings on, convinced that their miraculous survival at the apartment was a sign of divine intervention. Vincent goes to the bathroom, and while there, the couple we'd met when in the first scene, Pumpkin and Honey Bunny, hold up the restaurant. So now the timeline, the circle is completed. They approach all customers and they demand their wallets. When they arrive at Jules, they demand Marcellus's briefcase. Jules distracts Pumpkin with its contents, and while he's mesmerized at what's inside, Jules overpowers him and holds him at gunpoint. Did we talk about what we think is in that briefcase?
We did not. No.
Do we want to say that for fun facts?
No.
No, let's fucking do it. Fun facts.
But nobody knows, correct? It was never
it's never there.
revealed.
There's theories on it.
There are
stuff.
theories.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to it then. So holds him. Overpowers him. Holds him at gunpoint. Honey Bunny becomes hysterical and points her gun at Jules. Vincent returns from the bathroom with his gun aimed at her, but Jules diffuses the situation. He recites that same biblical passage he'd recited to Brett.
Completely made up.
Mm-hmm.
Expresses it's again biblical mashup. Expresses ambivalence about his life of crime, and allows the robbers to take his cash, but not his wallet, because that's the one emblazoned with "bad motherfucker" on it.
Yeah.
And leave with all the other wallets and cash they'd stolen. Jules and Vincent leave the diner with briefcase in hand.
Mm-hmm.
That's the end of the movie.
That was a cool scene at the end. That wallet. Fun fact on that.
Bad
BMF.
motherfucker.
Yeah. Do you know whose that wallet that was?
Was it? It was Was it a blaxploitation film?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it?
Shaft.
It was
Shaft.
I was going to say it was either John Shaft or it was Dolomite, but okay,
So it was Shaft, and it was actually Tarantino's actual wallet. That was his wallet.
Oh.
He used it as a prop.
That's
That's
awesome.
what you get when you're like a director and make a lot of money.
Well, it was a Shaft
A
wallet.
replica.
Yeah, replica or whatever. But that, I don't know if it's a replica, but that was his like tagline, I guess.
Yeah,
whatever from the.
So, well, yeah, sure. He's a bad mother. Shut your mouth.
Yeah, that's
Right.
right.
They was just talking about Shaft.
Yeah.
Well, he was too.
But I think you can get that wallet actually.
I'm sure you can get anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm
now.
saying. Amazon. I think they have that wallet.
Mm.
I guess it's kind of already started, but I guess it's time for the
Fun facts.
Can't we? We can't do that. We can't.
We can get. So look, I'm on Team Matt on this one. Like
Yeah.
I'm absolutely on Team Matt. I can't, for the life of me, understand.
Yes. Yeah.
But
it makes no sense.
This is a track that goes back to the 1800s. For Christ's
Well,
sake.
it's not the track. Like you could reproduce it or whatever, or like, but if somebody's
You get me a MIDI keyboard with one, just
That-
whatever. Like I'll play that.
that's
really
what I was
quickly.
gonna say. Like Zap plays guitar. Could you do that?
I could.
Guitar.
I'll get a little. I'll get a $10 Radio Shack
That-
synthesizer in here. Do that on a keyboard, and I'm done.
oh,
The actual song is not. It's just that people's copies of it are like that one you sent me.
Right.
It like people put on YouTube. Oh, this one's copyright free, and then when you put it up on YouTube, for instance, they'll take it down and say
Wait.
that's copyright.
Fuck it. I've got an accordion. I'll
There's
do it
no-
on
do
the
an
fucking
accordion.
accordion.
That'd
There.
be perfect.
That's
Like,
Like,
badass.
you could definitely play the music and make it your own.
but you can get a bad motherfucker wallet for sale Amazon for $39.99.
Could you send me that link?
And I think it's fall. It's fall leather.
Fall leather.
Fall.
The X is silent.
Yeah.
But no, you can find better ones.
So
for more money.
can someone tell me about?
$124 freaking dollars.
Dang, American.
For the real leather one.
Getting real leather, yeah.
So what are the theories you have with respect to the contents of the briefcase?
Okay.
There's
so,
only one I'd ever heard of.
well, so what's the one you heard?
That's Marcellus' soul in there.
Yeah. So that's one of them.
That makes no sense.
So
Sure it does. He had a Band-Aid on the back of his head where they
Took his soul.
took his soul out of his
Took his soul.
dumb.
Matt, do you have any?
I thought it was a gold pair of Ray-Bans.
No, I never heard that one.
You guys don't research.
I thought it was a replica of Matt's golden voice.
It was in there. It was his singing
Just
voice.
like
Just his singing
Just
voice.
like Marcellus' soul. My
Yeah.
voice is in there in golden honey.
So here are some other outside of the Marcellus Soul ones that I've come across. If you've seen the movie Reservoir Dogs, that was a diamond heist, and there's people that say that they were the diamonds from the heist in Reservoir Dogs.
Okay.
Because
Good theory.
another fun fact: Vince Vega is the brother of Vic Vega,
Vic Vega, played by Michael Madsen,
correct?
in Reservoir Dogs.
Right, who
Yep.
was supposed to be the character in Pulp Fiction, but he ended up doing Wyatt Earp, and they changed it from Vic Vega to Vincent Vega, his brother.
And to
Right.
this day, Michael Madsen regrets the shit out of doing that versus whatever.
I definitely would.
Go. Yeah.
So why are the diamonds gold? See, it makes no sense.
Well, it's just the
Maybe they're
the
canary
reflection
diamonds.
or whatever. Yeah,
Could be
who
the
knows?
reflection.
Yeah, but it's obviously something that is golden.
Okay, here's another one. The movie True Romance. The actual movie was written, like the story, by Quentin Tarantino and Roger Avery, and it was directed and produced by somebody else. I forget who, but there was a scene in that with a gold Elvis outfit that Christian Slater wears in it, and there's rumors that people say it's that gold outfit, that golden glittery outfit from True Romance that's
Interesting.
in there. And then the last one, and this one's like one that was actually kind of put around as a joke around that time of the movie coming, or like the year after, but then it kind of gained traction, and people say that because Mia was an actress that was a failed actress, that it was an Oscar that Marcellus stole for her,
Oh,
and
nice.
that's why they were saying the gold. And
Yeah, see, that makes more sense.
yeah, but that was kind of like a fan theory that they came up with that kind of gained traction, and now people kind of take it as, you know. But Tarantino, I think, and other people involved were quoted as saying, or they had said that, like, it's all what you want it to be. Like, they never really give an answer.
Of
I guess.
course.
Yeah.
Like a golden ticket.
Mm.
I have a golden ticket. I'm not trying to sing again, but that was from Willy Wonka.
From Willy Wonka.
Yeah. I think it's a golden ticket.
Did we ever find out the explanation as to why Marcellus Wallace had a Band-Aid on the back of his neck?
There wasn't, but that tied to that soul theory.
Correct.
Yeah, so that would make you think that.
Might have gotten a haircut. They used the straight edge, and
Mm-hmm.
he might have had like what are those things called? Like a skin tab on there or something.
Mm.
Yeah, there was something like Chinese or Japanese culture that's where your soul comes out through the back. So there were people that made that connection.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we were talking about Vincent Vega. We talked about Michael Madsen. So I was right as I'm reading this fun fact. So Harvey Weinstein actually, so it could have been Michael Madsen, but it wasn't. Harvey Weinstein actually pushed for Daniel Day-Lewis to get that part.
What happened to Daniel? Did he not want it?
Daniel Day-Lewis was too expensive.
Yeah, he was too big of an actor.
Travolta, who by then had been washed up,
Look who's talking.
like
and-
at best, like he had some years since his last movie. He did it for like $100,000.
Mhm.
He did this movie on the cheap, and this movie super spiked him back into A-list stardom again.
Well, there was a whole thing with that, with Tarantino pushing for Travolta, and he said, "Look, if you won't give me Travolta, I'm not making the movie with you." So he pushed them in the.
I'm glad he did.
And he actually had a thing with Travolta where he brought him over to his apartment. Tarantino was living at the time, and played board games all night. He had a Welcome Back, Kotter, I think, board game, and
That's
all
awesome.
He was a huge Travolta fan. He's
I
like,
need to get that board game in my life.
yeah. He was like, "Look, you're the greatest, one of the greatest actors of our time, and you're doing Look Who's Talking." He's like, "You're so much better than that. I want you to be in this movie." And Travolta was like, "There's no way they're gonna okay that. Like, I'm like dead in Hollywood right now. Nobody wants me." And Tarantino was pushing, like, "No, I want you in this movie. I'll make it happen."
I don't think he was good in the movie. I think it was his shit acting that made him so good in that part.
Oh, really? I thought he was good in it. I mean, I I liked him in it, but
I don't think Travolta can act. I think
really?
it was. I think the way that he acted is kind of how he acted, but it made it. The bad acting made that character
made it good.
cool.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's how I portray.
Oh,
it.
yeah, I mean, I can respect that.
That's fair.
Yeah,
It's like the golden briefcase, man. It's whatever
It's
you,
what you
think.
interpret
Yeah,
it,
it's what you
yeah.
how
think.
you interpret it.
it did. And Bruce Willis as well. His career was kind of like iffy.
Yep.
Yeah,
I saw that too. I did see that. Yeah, he had done some shit movies by then, and then it finally this brought him back. Like it definitely brought him back in a big way.
It wasn't his career like always kind of like
Up and
that. Like he
down.
would do some good ones and some shitty ones and some
well,
good ones.
yeah. After Die Hard and all that, it was kind of like
Yeah.
yeah.
He did what's that one? Hudson Hawk.
Oh yeah,
So that's a bomb, but not for nothing. I enjoyed
You
that
like it.
movie.
Yeah,
But it's panned by a lot of people. Like it just gets shit
it
reviews.
was not.
No,
Yeah.
I think he acted well in this. I think that part was like made for him to act.
Do you know who the original choice for that was?
For
The
Butch's
part-
role?
Yeah, Sylvester Stallone.
What?
That's what they wanted. Yeah,
I don't know about that.
That would have been a $16 million budget instead of an $8 million budget.
yeah.
Damn.
The F word was said 265 times.
Nice.
Fun fact. But it was 4 less than Reservoir Dogs.
Oh really? Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So we talked about Paul Calderon, who was Paul the bartender in this movie. He was actually he overshadowed Samuel L. Jackson and was about to get that part, but I mean it was what Tarantino asked him, "Hey man, just do it again." Or I'm sorry, not Tarantino, Weinstein.
Mhm.
Harvey Weinstein said, "Dude, come on, reread it, do it again." That second one won him over.
Yeah.
And he got it. But this is all after Tarantino had written that role for Lawrence Fishburne.
Yep. And you know why he didn't want to do it?
Oh, why?
Why they said like this is what they it was people had said that he didn't want to do it because of glorified heroin use and drugs and all that. He didn't like that.
That
Part of
scene
the script.
alone. That scene alone does. It really
Yeah.
does. Like you're watching them. You're watching just the scene of heroin cooking in a spoon. Like you
Mhm.
don't even see faces or bodies. It's just the heroin. I mean, it certainly makes it look sexy and hip and cool.
So where was
It does.
Fish? He was working in Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Yeah.
Ready to.
Well, he went on to do,
He was Cowboy Curtis.
Yes,
Yeah,
that was
Cowboy
Cowboy
Curtis.
Curtis.
but he went on to do like The Matrix then and all
Yeah,
that and
yeah.
stuff. And he had
And-
some hits.
and
He's a
his-
good actor.
yeah,
I
he is a
mean,
good actor.
But Samuel just killed this role.
I think he's another one. I think his daughter's doing porn now.
Lawrence
Oh, for real?
Fishburne.
Mm-hmm.
You should look at one of his earlier roles, Cornbread.
Cornbread. What was that from?
Cornbread. It's a movie starring Lawrence.
Oh, I didn't know
Larry Fishburne.
Larry
Larry
Fishburne.
Fishburne.
Larry. That's
Billed
right.
as Larry Fishburne.
Huh, I'll have to check that out.
Speaking of Samuel L. Jackson, they said he was supposed to have a massive afro in this movie, like huge, like from like the 1960s.
Yep.
Yeah.
But they had some sort of Jerry curl wig that they
Instead,
liked, and
That was
They stuck with it.
Tarantino's personal assistant got the wrong wig.
yeah.
That's what it was, yeah.
And he was pissed. Like fucking pissed.
But they thought it was cool once they
wait,
once they
Tarantino
checked it
was
out.
Tarantino was fucking pissed.
Oh, really?
But Samuel L. calmed it down and said, "Hey, look, man, not for nothing. This wet Jerry curl look, it's kind of an in thing right
It's
now.
hot right now with the gangster raps. and shit.
NWA,
Yeah.
Easy E.
Easy, that's right.
Well, no, I'm sorry, Easy E and Ice Cube at the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they both had it. Yeah, you're right. And not was it Coming to America? They had that the Soul Glow and all
Shit,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
Soul Glow.
That's a good
Silky smooth.
So yeah, I talked about that.
You're thinking about it.
I'm not doing it, man.
You're thinking
I'm
about
not
it.
doing it.
I didn't
I'm not
either.
I'm gonna spark some
Uh-huh.
singing.
I didn't do it.
Although, admittedly,
In my mind, it was. I even hit the key.
because see, I can't, and it's only in my mind can I hit the note. I used to be able to do it, but I mean, as years have gone on, I can't
lost
hit
it.
that high note anymore.
You got any?
I was gonna say about that Mad TV, what I referenced earlier, about the Gump Fiction. It was a recreated scene that mashed the two together, and then Forrest Gump taking the place of Vincent Vega, and that Phil Lamar was in Pulp Fiction. He was on the cast of Mad TV, and they recreated that scene where they're in the apartment. But I guess Forrest Gump's in the apartment with the gun and all that stuff.
Oh,
So that's something. Yeah, I'll have to look that up on YouTube
Okay.
and check that out. I'd be curious
I
to see
already
it.
already pulled it up. Gump
did-
Fiction.
did you watch it?
I didn't watch it. I
I
pulled
wanna
it up
see.
so I don't forget to watch it later.
Yeah.
Butch's Honda Civic that was used in Pulp Fiction was also used in Jackie Brown and Kill Bill Volume 2.
Oh, really? I didn't know
Yeah, that was the same car he used. I guess Quentin Tarantino holds on to shit like that and puts it in the back lot.
speaking of Jackie Brown, Pam Grier had actually read for the role of Lance, the drug dealer's wife,
Mhm.
who was ended up playing by that Arquette chick, the chick with all the shit in her face. But so as Pam Grier read for the role, he didn't feel that audience would be able to find it even remotely possible to believe that Lance could yell at her.
Oh,
I mean, because this is Pam Grier. There's no way that she's letting some skinny little white dude yell at her.
Yell her like that, yeah.
What do you got?
So the $150,000 budget
I can't believe that was a hit.
for the set.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I was like, wait.
No,
$8 million.
Yeah. I was like, wait.
total. But I guess they had a large chunk of it was $150,000 of the budget went to the Jack Rabbit Slim set. They totally got
That's
all
money
that.
well spent.
Yeah, and those cars that they had in there, those not diner car, but the table cars, kind of where you sit and eat, booth cars, I guess you say. There's like a
They
booth
took
in
old
them.
cars, gutted them, and kept the bodies and turned them into tables.
Well, they were from another movie, and they used that set from another movie. It was like a movie that was filmed a long time ago. I don't have it in front of me here, but that scene was actually they took that from another movie. Like that scene or whatever, and they actually used the cars from. It was like a movie from the '60s or something.
Where do they?
Like that.
I guess they just the studios just hang on to this shit
They
as
probably
time
like
goes on.
back lots probably full of shit.
Full
you know
of
what I mean?
yeah, because it's stuff that they end up selling like 100 years later. Like buy the car that was in Pulp Fiction.
By the original Millennium
Yeah.
Falcon that was used in the whatever.
Yeah, this little thing. It's this big.
Yeah.
But speaking of cars, the 1964 Chevrolet Malibu, driven by Vincent Vega, was actually Quentin Tarantino's. Much like the Wallet, stuff like that, was Quentin Tarantino's car. It was stolen off the set.
Sons of bitches.
Yes, and they actually 2 decades later, they found the car, and the owner was not aware that it was stolen from the set of
That's
Pulp Fiction.
wild.
Did you read that one?
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, that was cool.
Sneaky fucking Russians.
Somebody just, how do you steal that car? Like, are you on the set? Are you some like backlot dude? Does he see it sitting there? Or,
Well, they were probably like in L.A.
or
just
Tarantino's
sitting on the
probably like,
street.
I don't know if he was high or something like that, or probably out at a bar and left the keys in it.
Maybe.
I don't know. That's cool though.
So
That is pretty-
we were talking about some old drug stuff and whatever. So the drug dealer Lance was originally the preferred actor to play that was Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
Thanks to his portrayal of a drug dealer from True Romance.
Mm-hmm.
However, on the topic of Gary Oldman, back to the topic of Vincent and Jules, David Roth was the guy who played the robber in the diner.
Yeah. Or Roth. What's it?
Roth.
Tim Roth.
Tim Roth.
Tim Roth.
Tim Roth.
Whatever. Jeez, I'm sorry, I stroked out. So Tim Roth plays Honey Bunny or whatever.
Honey Bunny.
Yeah.
Ringo.
Ringo and Honey Bunny's the girl. Yeah.
So the Quentin Tarantino had actually thought about casting Tim Roth as Vincent Vega and Gary Oldman, since Gary Oldman didn't get the drug dealer part, as Jules. Because they both have British accents, he was going to rewrite the characters as just like 2 English guys.
Yeah, I did hear that one too. That's cool. That would have been different.
Tim Roth was in that was a
Reservoir
Tarantino
Dogs.
movie. No, where he was the bellhop.
Oh, that was 4 Rooms.
4 Rooms. Was that Tarantino or no?
That he wrote that. There were, I think, 4 Rooms. There were like 4 different stories in that.
Yeah, it was kind of.
And
Yeah, it was
he wrote one of the rooms.
okay.
Like, you know what I mean?
I don't think they bill that as a Tarantino movie, though.
No, I don't think it is.
Yeah.
It was much like a Tarantino
Right.
film.
Oh yeah.
I don't know who directed it, but it was a cool movie.
No,
I
he directed that scene or that, you know, they
That
each took
part,
a part.
they each took a part.
Yep.
Hmm.
I forgot about that 4 Rooms. That was pretty cool. That was of that movie that I remember. That was the best one. So I know Tarantino did one too, Death Proof, and
Death Proof, and that was
It
with
was a double feature. It
yeah.
was Death Proof.
Kurt
and
Russell.
Kurt Russell.
That was
Yes.
a great one. And
Where he
they
drove
mashed it
the
up.
stunt car. In the end, they mashed it up. They tried to do that like they used to do that in those 70s drive-ins. It was very much.
Yep, double
And he got
feature.
into that thing too. He had the double feature types.
So I did some digging. I found it. That exotic woman, Medeiros,
Yeah.
who plays Butch's girlfriend interest,
The
girl interest. So I said it wasn't Mexican, but it's something similar, right?
So, you said way down southern America way.
I was wrong. Now, while it was closer to Spanish, she's actually
Brazil, Portugal.
correct. She is a Portuguese actress whom Tarantino had met while traveling around trying to,
Met.
well, I'm saying, knew,
Yeah.
like Abraham knew Sarah.
Yeah.
No, he was traveling when he was doing the European film festivals. That's where he met her.
That's what rich people do.
Portuguese.
When you're like a filmmaker.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any? Well, we talked about some of these, like people that were up for different roles. Like I see a ton here.
Yeah, shoot.
And this is
Really?
all.
Go.
I mean, this is like I've never seen so many, and this is according. They said leaked documents. So who knows how close are these are
Like Watergate. Like,
leaked documents?
like
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino. He shouldn't have these at his house. They're supposed to be locked up. secret.
WikiLeaks, man.
WikiLeaks, yeah.
Julian Assange.
This is where people just write stuff in. No, this guy could have played him.
So Pumpkin, obviously Tim Roth, but they said Johnny Depp, Slater, Gary Oldman, Nicolas Cage, Eric Stoltz, and Cusack, which would have been different.
Cusack's in every.
Yeah.
He could have been,
of course,
in every movie that we've done on the basement.
Then Honey Bunny, you got Patricia Arquette, Lily Taylor, I don't know who that is, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Bridget Fonda, Phoebe Cates, Marissa Tomei, Vincent Vega. Obviously, we knew about Madsen, Alec Baldwin, Gary Oldman, Jason Patrick, Andy Garcia, Michael Keaton, Denzel, Sean Penn, Dennis Quaid, Robert Carradine. There's a lot
Robert
of
Kennedy, he
names.
would have been like 90 at the
Wow.
time.
Yeah.
I'd imagine Robert Carradine more as the wolf, but whatever.
Yeah, you're right on that. So Jules, we talked about Lawrence Fishburne, Eddie Murphy. I don't know.
Nah.
Charles S. Dutton. Was that Rock? Charles S. Dutton.
Yes, that was Rock.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And I don't know this last name, so I'm not going to talk. Butch, Sean Penn, Matt Dillon was actually, I think Matt Dillon was initially who they wanted, and he had offered it to him. He's like, I got to think about it. And then he saw Bruce Willis at like a cookout at somebody's house. And Bruce went over and he's like, Quentin Tarantino, it's so nice to meet you. Like, I'd love to do something with you. I'd love to work with you, whatever. And he said, I have this role coming up, the boxer or whatever. Kind of had a role in mind for him. He said, I'll take it. Matt Dillon was kind of like him hauling around, and he ended up not getting it.
I would have liked to see Sean Penn.
You snooze, you lose.
You
I was thinking about that after he mentioned it. I could see Sean Penn as
He would have been good as that.
Yeah, even though I think Bruce Willis acted that character perfectly.
Wait. I'm sorry. Was Sean Penn considered for Butch?
Butch, yes.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I can see. I can really see that. But I think Bruce Willis did such a good job.
He was great.
Yeah.
And then Johnny Depp was the other one I saw.
No.
here.
Fuck no.
So how about the Wolf? What do you hear these names? So these are some good ones. And who knows how true these are, but it's cool to think about. You know what I mean?
You're gonna say Stallone again?
I just read it. No.
Oh, yeah, clean it up.
Yeah. Warren Beatty. Warren Beatty as a wolf. That would have been cool.
That would have worked.
97 years old.
Al Pacino.
127 years old.
Yeah. Danny DeVito. No, but Danny
so
DeVito
Danny
has a tie to this.
Well, yeah, he was. He's in the opening credits.
It's like he was the one that kind of, he's kind of credited with getting this all kind of Tarantino
Off the ground, like getting him started.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's one of the guys.
DeVito.
There's something there with DeVito kind of putting the wheels into motion.
Like
basically.
Danny DeVito, I love your work.
He's there he's listed as a producer.
Yeah.
Like in the opening credits.
Yep. So
Sorry.
back to that was Alec Baldwin again, Michael Keaton, Christopher Walken, who
I
had
can see
another
that.
part.
Yeah, he had another part.
And then Charles S. Dutton again. But I thought that Warren Beatty, Pacino, that would have been cool. Lance, like you talked about, Gary Oldman, Cusack again, Michael Keaton, Bill Paxton, that's a new name. Eric Roberts, that's a name that we haven't seen. Jodie, Patricia Arquette, Bridget Fonda, Pam Grier, like you said.
Yep.
Sophia Coppola, Jennifer Jason Leigh again. And then Mia, this be the last one here, who was obviously played by, what's her name, from Kill Bill. Shit, I can't even think of her name. Uma Thurman, yeah. Uma Thurman. So we have Marissa Tomei, Phoebe Cates, Bridget Fonda, Angela Bassett.
I think Marissa Tomei could have pulled it off. Thanks. My cousin Vinny alone tells me she could have pulled it off.
Yeah, but I think she's too New York City-ish. I think you needed more of like an LA.
That's fair.
Type.
That's
I could see
fair.
who was the other one? Uma Thurman and Fonda. I could see Bridget Fonda also.
Deborah Winger.
I concur.
Deborah Winger's too old.
But this is 93.
Yeah, she was still old in 93.
She was 127 years old.
127 years old.
127 years old.
And Meg Tilly. So yeah, those were.
I love me some Meg Tilly.
That's a lot of names attached to.
But she's the same New York style.
Wait, what do I know Meg Tilly from?
Chucky. Meg Tilly was also another one with.
She's the bride of Chucky.
Yeah, Gina Gershon.
Nope.
Where they were like roommates.
She has a Tomei look.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's too New Yorky. She wouldn't have pulled it off.
Yeah, I'm for that.
She has large breasts.
Yeah, Meg Tilly.
What do we've talked about that Coppola woman before. What was she in?
Was it?
Wait, is that Meg Tilly or Jennifer Tilly? Wait, is that Meg Tilly?
Meg Tilly. He said Meg Tilly.
Yeah, Meg Tilly. Jennifer Tilly. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we're
That's
thinking
who I
of
was
Jennifer
thinking of,
Tilly.
too. I don't even know who Meg Tilly
Oh my
is.
God, that's her sister. She looks just like her.
Oh yeah. Okay.
We're thinking of Jennifer Tilly.
Yeah.
She was the one in Bride of Chucky.
She would have been. Well, she would have probably been of age maybe
that's
back then.
Meg Tilly. Jennifer Tilly looks just like her. So they're
Similar.
sisters.
Okay.
What were you asking about?
The Italian broad. I just said it. I can't believe.
Marissa Tomei?
Coppola.
Yeah.
Oh.
What was she in? Did she have something to do with The Outsiders or something when we were doing that?
So there was a Coppola dude that was associated with the music,
Yeah.
but I don't know if that was.
Sofia Coppola. Was she in something with
This is Jennifer Tilly.
Joaquin Phoenix?
God damn.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Hey, Jennifer.
She would have been good in it. Yeah, I'm not sure. Was she in something with Joaquin Phoenix or something like that, or like an artsy movie?
She might have been.
Yeah.
Sophia Coppola. I could have sworn we talked about her.
I mean, Francis Ford family.
The only time that I remember recently talking about Coppola was during Outsiders, but I don't know. It could have been something else, and it slipped in my mind. But one other thing here, one of the last things I have here, and this is one of the first movies to use the internet to advertise. Which I felt like there was another movie we just talked about that was like way before this but no, that wouldn't make sense. Because this would have been 94, so that would have made sense, like 94 with the internet. I mean, it was happening for sure, but...
Well, we talked about not almost famous.
Real Genius?
Great Dazed and Confused, which was 93.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well.
I just one more fun fact I have is that the various weapons, we all talked about how Tarantino is a film nut. He likes to incorporate different films in his movies. The various weapons that Butch considers carrying for the revenge in the pawn shop is a hammer from Friday the 13th,
Ooh.
a bat from Walking Tall, and a chainsaw from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Nice.
And also they said finally a samurai sword from Lightning Swords of Death, which I guess was one of the Kung Fu movies.
Kung Fu You.
So it was just a throw in it for people that are big film critic heads too. Just check that out.
Little subtleties.
Mm-hmm.
God bless you, Quentin Tarantino.
There's one other one here named that wasn't in that list of other ones for the Vincent Vega role. They were looking at James Gandolfini, which I didn't know he was on really anybody's radar back then. Like,
No.
I'd only known him from Sopranos, but I don't know.
He could have pulled it off.
Yeah, he definitely could.
And again, this is the internet.
But again,
Yeah,
this is I think he would have gone New York style. To Matt's very astute point, like this is L.A.
Yeah, you're right.
Not fitting in. I think
This ain't no
character-
disco.
Yeah.
This is L.A.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, you kind of would have mushed up L.A. and New York are two very different places.
Yeah, no, but I love this movie, and I know for a fact when I first saw it, I was kind of blown away, like really blown away, and I know that movie going forward changed everything else I think that came out that tried to be, like the next Pulp Fiction.
And it took. You mentioned earlier, Memento is one I would check out.
That picture with Uma Thurman that you saw in movie posters
Everywhere.
This was everywhere. That picture of her smoking a cigarette. There's a gun laying at her forearm. She's just just looking at you with that sultry, sexy look. Everywhere.
Yeah.
Ooh, in the DVD, when you throw the DVD in and you get to the main menu of the DVD, the smoke is actually
moving around.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
See, would that be allowed on a poster today with the gun and the cigarette? They'd have
Yes.
to.
Sure. Yeah, they could.
You think on
Yeah,
a movie poster?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't see any like cool movie posters anymore.
No.
Like I took the kids to the movie to see Mario, and there was like pretty lame movie posters.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a new movie.
This guy makes like what he say. Tarantino's like, I'm making 10 movies or something like that, and he's supposed to be done. And I hope not, because for me, of our generation, at least for me,
This man's a hero.
he's the greatest director I think that in my lifetime. Like for me,
100%.
that I anything the guy does, I love it, and I just would hate to think it's gonna end because he's not that old. You'd
No.
think he would just keep writing and directing.
Yeah, but I
and
think
stuff.
he's kind of like us in the basement. Like I think he doesn't want to like flood with his own shit. Like he wants to put out what he put out.
Quality.
Yeah, and have people look back on it and say, look at it today, and it be relevant to what some crap that he would come out with. Like I know the guy's still talented; he can still do whatever he wants, but
Quality.
I think he's a purist, man. I think he's just like, I put out 10. That's what I said I'm going to do,
and that's what I'm going to do, and that's going to be the end of it. I guess it's just one.
He does podcasts and stuff now. He does things like that. I'm sure he helps people write. I'm sure he helps people direct.
And he spawned like a whole generation of directors that basically learned from him. And this guy didn't go to film school or anything like that. He just watched movies and loved them. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he went to film school.
No,
he didn't do nothing.
He didn't do any of that. He worked at a video store with this Roger Avery. It was his partner, and they would just watch movies and talk about them. He was one. I know from going to video stores back in the 90s, going in, there was always that guy there that knew every movie and would talk to you and talk your ear off.
That was him.
That was him.
Huh.
And he would just talk to people about movies. Oh, did you see this one? And he's way into cinema.
Kind of like Clerks. Or
But the way he wrote this movie and his movies that he wrote was just more like real life. Like, this is how people really talk. But the guy's just amazing. I mean, this movie to me is amazing. I mean, I always say Goodfellas is my favorite movie. I love Scorsese.
Flipping script.
But Pulp Fiction is way up there. Like watching it again, and I'm still blown away. This, however many years later, almost 30 years later, and the movie's just like so awesome. So, yep.
It's funky.
Yeah. I don't know. I would say, Tarantino, probably 60 years old. Dude made his movies that he said he was going to make. I would like to see more, but I think he's good in life with the money he has. 100 million. He's probably 200 million. I don't know.
Yeah. Who's counting?
Chump change. But yeah, I wish he would do something else. It'd be cool to see what he came up with, but I don't know. Maybe listen to the podcast. Maybe he'll call us, have us help.
Does he have one left? Is that what it is? He's at 9. He has 10. Is that what it is?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Is that what it is? He's 9. He got one more.
I think he's got one more due to come out.
When is it? When will it be?
I don't know.
We don't know. What's it about?
Check them internets.
I don't know. He's probably working on it right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's Uma Thurman, Bruce Willis.
Maybe.
I think Bruce Willis. Yeah, he forgets everything now. It's kind of like what we talked about earlier.
Bruce Willis is not doing well, so I don't know that he'll be.
We had something with his memory or something like that, or some sort of. Yeah, it's very strange.
Yep. Anything in closing, Zach?
Look, man, I said it before and I'll say it again. I love Quentin Tarantino. I love every movie of his I've ever seen. This is his masterpiece. This is the one. This sets the bar for against which so many countless movies since need to be measured. This is the one.
Yep. Well, we appreciate you guys tuning in. I don't know what the movie will be next week. This was a good one to pick. I'm glad we did it. So don't forget to go on our poll on Facebook and keep voting on there. We'll be pulling stuff from there. And find us on Facebook and Instagram at Old Dirty Basement, and on TikTok at Old Dirty Basement Podcast. I guess that's it for now. So we'll catch you where?
On the flip side.
If we don't see you sooner, we'll see you later.
Peace. Thanks for listening to The Vintage Cinema Review in the Old Dirty Basement. If you dig our theme music like we do, check out the Tsunami Experiment. Find them on Facebook. Their music is streaming on Spotify and Apple, and where great music is available.
You can find us at Old Dirty Basement on Facebook and Instagram, and at Old Dirty Basement Podcast on TikTok.
Peace.
We Audi 5000.